Money. How to use the symbol. This is worth repeating, for repetition causes internalization. Money is not the real thing. It is only a symbol of the real wealth inside us. We have so far been looking at what makes up the real thing. Even though money is not the real thing, we still need to know how to use this money. It is a full circle, a full cycle. For money is the end of many other things that make up wealth consciousness, but it is the beginning of the experiencing of wealth consciousness as material wealth. Money is a symbol of wealth and the beginning of the experiencing of wealth, so that we may know how wealth tastes like experientially. Money has two primary uses. One is to allow us to exchange our gifts. The other is to allow us to experience wealth. Through this experience, we are able to increase our wealth consciousness and love it even more. Wealth consciousness begets wealth and money, which begets wealth consciousness, and the cycle goes on. It is a full circle, a full cycle. Let us spend some time on money. Do not be ashamed of money. Do not act as if you are ashamed of it. Hiding money, handling it as if it were dirty, being dishonest with money, and other similar attitudes and acts are all detrimental to you if you wish to acquire wealth. This is not a call for you to start bragging. It is a call for you to be honest in all ways with your money. Be honest to the money and about the money. Things that lead to dishonesty with and about money, or things that stem from it, eventually damage your wealth. I love money, and money loves me. Scream this enthusiastically, repeatedly every now and then, until all feelings of ridicule and guilt and fear of money eventually leave you. As you become wealthier materially, it may be in your best interests, depending on where you live, to have offshore specialists look into your affairs and structure them for maximum safety and benefits. Vehicles such as trusts and holding companies in offshore jurisdictions have enabled wealthy people to have peace and continued prosperity for generations. Remember that presently we do need governments, and we must pay our fair part to keep them running. It is to our advantage to have government, but government was created to serve its people fairly, and when it ceases to act in such a way, then it becomes your biggest hindrance and stressor. And because government is run by human beings capable of error, government can sometimes oppress instead of enhance. They can sometimes waste instead of create. They can sometimes make legal laws that are unfair and unjust, even if it is only to a proportion of a population. That is why it is to your advantage to structure your affairs very early on in such a way that you are both within and outside of government control, instead of remaining totally within government's control. That freedom is sometimes the key to growing wealth. Sometimes it can even save you from losing your wealth. This call to look offshore is not a call to greed and anarchy. It is a call for freedom and fairness. For if you cannot guarantee that your government will be fair at all times to you, you should then guarantee that you can step aside or outside safely in the event that it is not. There is no point in taking an unnecessary and lethal blow to your finances in the name of patriotism. Options enable choice. Without options, you cannot choose. Always ensure that you have options in everything. In regards to wealth and many other matters, the options you should seek to guarantee are the option to travel at will when you need to live in a place where you are happy and safe, and to handle your finances in a way that best suits you and your society in your fair judgment. The way to guarantee those freedoms, those options, is to have 2 legal passports from 2 separate countries, legal residency capability in 2 countries with unrelated jurisdiction, and offshore bank accounts in offshore holding or processing companies. Asset and income protection arrangements are much like insurance, by the way. You do not insure your house against fire after it burns down. You do it before the fire, in case a fire ever comes your way. But never forget you have an interest in paying something fair in taxes to keep your government healthy. Even if you find yourself in a position whereby you can escape all taxes, it is a good idea to voluntarily pay about 10% of your income in taxes. Pay your fair share of tax cheerfully, for it keeps the society alive and functioning in order. It is up to you to determine what fair is. Over the ages, sages and teachers have taught that 10% is a fair amount. Even religious texts have recommended similar 10% arrangements. Mathematically, 10% is also optimal for all involved. Of your income, devise ways to ensure that you pay about 10% of it in taxes. that you give about 10% to charity, you invest 10% in long-term growth and wealth-building investments, and you use the remaining 70% to live, grow, and enjoy life. The added bonus to you using your money to enjoy life is that as you spend money on things, you make others wealthier. As you get immensely richer, you may live on a lower percentage of your income, then give and invest more. These ratios were designed over the ages to give you and your world the best growth and wealth possibilities for all. Keep accurate personal and business accounts. Know what happens to your money and where it goes and comes from. Knowing is the first step to mastery of anything, and not knowing where your money goes is crippling. If your cash out exceeds your cash in, your upkeep, staying alive, will be your downfall. You cannot plan and analyze what you do not know. Be careful, however, about managing your finances. This is not a call to stringent cent counting and misery. Do not let your keeping of accurate financial records turn you into a miser, a person who believes that money is in short supply. Keeping accounts is just that, keeping accounts. Surround yourself with very wise advisors, associates, and employees. The wise person keeps wiser counsel. Have wise counsel in all fields: business, accounting, tax, law, trusts, investments, etc. Pay them well, pay them on performance, and give them bonuses when they deserve it. Remember, wealth usually flows to those with right knowledge, but the person who gets that wealth does not necessarily have to be the possessor of the knowledge. The wealthy person is often the one who brings together teams of knowledgeable people, even though he or she may not possess the knowledge personally. Learn to multiply your efforts. One of the best ways to do that is to delegate massively. Delegate almost everything. Every person has certain unique capabilities, but they also share many other things with everybody else. For example, Einstein's special gift was in physics. That is where he varied most with the rest of us. But on all other things, that variance was very low. He walked, wrote, saw, cleaned the house, and did other chores just a little better or a little worse than we all do. Now, if in a day Einstein insisted on doing absolutely everything in his business, from thinking about physics to drawing charts that anyone else could have drawn, to sweeping his floor, and all that, he would have ended up with far less time to spend on his unique talents and therefore have realized less from them. A person's unique talents are what make the person and the world wealthy. Wealthy people usually look at themselves honestly and see what it is that they enjoy and what it is that they are a whole lot better at than most other people. This is an honest look. What they are best at may be strategy, marketing, innovation, horticulture, flying, driving, or anything else. They may also be good at a whole lot of other things, maybe even slightly better than most people, but that is beside the point. The point is what it is that they are fabulous at, not just good at, but fabulous. That is the question. The only other question is, what is it that they really enjoy and cannot stop doing? They do not say, I can clean the floor better than my cleaner, for even if it is true, it is self-defeating. All that matters is what they are better at by far than anyone else and what they enjoy. Then they do only that thing and they delegate everything else. They do not worry that people will not do the rest as good as they would have. Imagine if Bill Gates tried to do everything at Microsoft. What good would that do him or the rest of us? A person such as Bill Gates is focused on what he or she does best and what he or she enjoys best. People like that delegate all the rest, even if they can do some of the rest better than their helpers can or employees can. In addition to that, people like that recognize that there are many things that other people are a lot better at doing than they themselves are. Delegation multiplies effort and results. Put it in your thinking and your goals to delegate almost everything in your business except for the one thing you're exceptionally good at and what you most enjoy, even if it is just dreaming up new ideas. To the extent that you delegate to the right people, so shall you become more productive and hence wealthier. Increase the rate at which you get ideas. Read books and magazines every day for a few minutes each day at least. Learn to read faster. The more new ideas you get, the better. Get a speed reading course or book. To find good books, use Amazon.com's users rating system to see what readers like you have found useful in their lives. Read magazines in all areas of life. Get a broad picture of the world. The best thing about magazines is their images. They feed your imagination and your goals.